Hello everybody, it's 420J or 420J Stoner Reacts, and we are reacting to another motherfucking Dexter video, y'all. And yeah, guys, we are reacting to on the Dexecutioner YouTube channel right there, man. And this is gonna be on Detective Quin new Dexter secret, y'all. And yeah, guys, let's motherfucking get into this, man. Hope you guys having a good one, everything, y'all. And yeah, the video will be linked in the description. Also, my social medias will be there too, and everything, man. And yeah, guys, let's motherfucking get into this.
Detective Joey Quin knew Dexter's secret. From the police sketch of Kyle Butler, to the bags at sea, to the murder of Stan Liddy, to the framing of La Guerta, the execution of Oliver Saxon by the end of Season 8, I can say with almost absolute certainty that Quin knew Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher. Yet, despite knowing the truth, Quin did nothing about it, which begs the question, why? In this video, I'm going to prove that Quin
Cause he's not dumb. He knew when to back the fuck off.
knew Dexter was a serial killer and explain how a combination of fear, self-preservation, and love ultimately kept him from taking any action. In order to answer these questions, first we must unpack who Quin actually was as a character. Quin was introduced in Season 3 of the show, following his transfer from narcotics to homicide. He appears to be a fairly average cop.
Bro, and he was bald as shit too, man. He had a short ass haircut, man.
One with a long history in battling crime, and he immediately shows an interest in Deb.
Nice watch. Knockoff?
Me? No, real thing only. I sold a kidney to get it. I'll show you the scar sometime.
I'll give you a kidney nod too.
However, with the introduction of Yuki Amato, it's almost immediately made clear to us that Quin is in some way shady, or at the very least, highly questionable. Yuki, Quin's former partner in narcotics and now an internal affairs officer, appears determined to bring him down. While her motives seem personal and relentless, the exact reasons behind her vendetta remain unclear. At first, Yuki targets Officer Deborah Morgan, attempting to manipulate her into becoming an informant against Quin. She dangles the enticing
Bro, it's funny as shit how she just kept fucking prying and prying and prying, and she couldn't get to Deb at all, bro. I fucking
promise of a detective's badge as a reward for cooperation, while also
She
threatening
got annoying too, man. That IA bitch or
to
whatever.
withhold if Deborah refuses. Despite the pressure, Deborah stands her ground and refuses to be a rat.
Oh, no, understand me. When I say you have the wrong person, I mean me. These people are more than just badge numbers to me. They're my friends. They're my family.
For much of the season, Yuki remains relentless, persistently harassing Deborah through phone calls, text messages, and unannounced confrontations, as she goes as far as to threatening Deborah's reputation by implying she will expose their private conversations.
Alright, my bad with this shit. God damn it, man.
Deborah eventually tells Quin about the investigation, leading him to take action to stop Yuki's inquiry. In a final showdown at the station, Yuki reveals her grudge comes from Quin's indirect involvement in a police officer's death.
The cop's dead because Quin cut all the wrong corners. I came to you for help to get him out of circulation.
Yeah, man, I don't even, bro, like, it just, like, why couldn't you just say that at first? Like, that's the real thing. And even then, I don't know if, like, Deborah would help anyways, you know?
You refused. Next dead cop's on you.
Quin argues that the situation was complicated, but it shows his tendencies to bend the rules when he sees it. It paints him as a cop who operates in gray areas, one who's willing to look the other way. His shady side is developed further in Season 4 when Quin becomes interested in Christine Hill, a determined reporter and the daughter of—
Bro, he was nah, bro, can y'all blame Quin? Like, hey, I'm just saying, man, when you play in the snow, you don't know where to go sometimes. No, I'm just kidding.
of Arthur Mitchell, the Trinity Killer. Covering the Lisa Bell case, Trinity's first on-screen victim, Christine flirts with Quin to get information, and Quin, being the absolute professional that he is, hands over his number. Quin meets Christine again later, and in another breach of police confidentiality, shares details about the vacation murders, which she quickly uses to publish an article. Him doing this violated the rules and professional boundaries expected of a detective. When Maria reads the article, she tells Quin to quit the pillow talk, reminding him of the dangers. As expected, Quin ignores the warnings and continues his relationship
and
with
this
Christine.
dude got you guys will see what he did, bro, but like, what the
sharing
fuck?
details
He's
about
dumb as
Miami's
shit.
Metro
He's dumb as shit for doing this.
biggest cases. During an intimate moment, he reveals key information about the Trinity Killer investigation, including Lundy's theory
Because Super Agent Lundy
has a hunch that the dead woman is connected to this big serial killer case.
The information allowed Christine to stay one step ahead in protecting her father and ultimately contributed to her decision to shoot and kill Agent Lundy and seriously injure Deb. Christine acted to protect
Bro,
her
that
father,
shit was crazy. I remember when I first saw that scene, bro. That shit was
the
crazy.
Trinity Killer, but Quin's carelessness made it easier for her to do so. While he couldn't have known her true identity or her violent intentions, he is still somewhat responsible. Police confidentially exist to stop things like this from happening, but Quin didn't seem to care. He broke the rules and handed Christine sensitive details, which she exploited by taking violent actions against those close to breaking the case. If Quin had done his job properly and kept quiet, the Trinity Killer may have been caught earlier and Lundy might still be alive. His behavior once again proved that he was a lousy cop as he prioritized personal pleasure and gratification over his duty to uphold the law. Quin's irresponsible nature as a cop is epitomized when Dexter catches him stealing from a crime scene, an event
Yup,
that
he
sparked
caught
a
him, bro. Dexter caught him red-handed
personal
too.
vendetta and leads Quin to start investigating Dexter. During an investigation, Quin is tasked with inventorying the victim's belongings, including a safe full of cash. Of course, he doesn't do this. While Dexter, distracted by his own problems, collects evidence nearby, Quin opens the safe using the victim's birth date as the code. He pockets some of the cash before cataloging the rest. Quin notices Dexter watching the theft, and for a moment, their eyes meet in tense silence. He quickly
Bruh.
pulls himself together.
Nah, bro. And then Dexter's in his head. He's like, not now, Quin. Like, he says something to that effect. Like, he just doesn't want to fucking deal with him right now.
Not realizing Dexter doesn't really care.
Don't
Yeah.
sweat it, Quin.
Yep.
I've got much bigger things to worry about.
At this point in the
Don't
show,
sweat it, Quin.
Quin's shady tendencies are impossible to ignore, covering for a drug-addicted officer, leaking sensitive case details to Christine Hill, and pocketing money from a crime scene, all revealing a cop willing to break rules whenever it suits him. This is essential in understanding why Quin stayed out of Dexter's way.
Yep.
The law didn't flow through his veins like it did for LaGuerta.
Not for real, bro. Like, this is like the main, that shit accurately fucking, describes that fucking shit, man. You know what I mean? Describes. You gotta know what the fuck I mean, man. I'm baked this shit right now, y'all. What is it, bro? It's a 110 and shit, man. But I got some.
Dokes. He wasn't the type of person to risk his life in the name of justice. By this point, we are led to see Quin as a highly street-smart individual with a knack for analyzing dangerous and complex situations. His resourceful shadiness not only reinforces his sharp instincts, but also foreshadows his eventual decision to steer clear of Dexter. Quin's ability to read people is evident in how he earns Anton's trust and skillfully deflects scrutiny from internal affairs. This intuitive understanding of when to push and when to back off highlights his self-preservation instincts. It also mirrors his later approach to Dexter, but we'll get onto that. At the point where Quin steals from the crime scene, tensions between the two were already high, as Dexter had messed up a case Quin was working on by bringing the wrong files to court. But Quin decided to let it go and try to make friends with Dexter, most likely to neutralize any threat. He begins with casual conversation and later tries to win Dexter over by offering him
Bro really gave him some more fucking football tickets, bro. Like, what the? Dexter don't even give two fucks about
very
any of that
expensive
shit, man.
tickets to a Dolphins game.
Help me out here, Dexter. I've been going out of my way trying to make things good with you, but no matter what I do, you just throw it back in my face.
You don't need to make things good with me.
Come on. What's it gonna take?
Quin, I don't care if you're a dirty cop.
But Dexter is not at all interested.
And bro, that set a whole button off with him, bro. Like,
Quin takes
that
the
hit a
rejection
button.
personally, marking a significant turning point in their relationship, as Quin starts to view Dexter with growing distrust and suspicion. You know, when you start disliking someone, you begin to see everything they do in a negative light. Well, that's exactly what happened with Quin, and for the rest of the season, he became increasingly suspicious of Dexter, finally noticing his strange behavior. The relationship grows increasingly tense and confrontational.
Is that all you got?
That's all I can tell you.
Dex. Hey, buddy.
Keep walking, not in the mood.
Keep walking.
It's called lunch, buddy.
Off campus as usual.
On one occasion, when Dexter is chasing a lead on Trinity, Quin goes off on him, resulting in him being thrown to the floor.
What, when you're done chasing tail?
You do not want to question my loyalty to my family, Quin. Not today.
Do your fucking job.
Quin's suspicions reach a climax
And when that happened, when he pushed Quin, that was right when Trinity came into the motherfucking police department and identified Dexter. So he was trying to get Trinity as fast as possible ASAP, man. So he didn't give a fuck about Quin or any of that.
Rita is killed by the Trinity Killer. It was already strange that she was targeted, as she did not fit the typical profile of his victims, making her murder an anomaly in his established ritual. Quin begins to piece this together, noticing the irregularities in Trinity's methods and how they oddly intersect with Dexter's life. Dexter's emotionless reaction to Rita's death doesn't help. While those around Dexter grieve, his flat, detached demeanor stands out, especially for someone who just lost his wife in such a violent and tragic way. In the moments following the discovery, Dexter's shock causes his carefully crafted facade to slip, exposing a callous coldness that doesn't align with the grieving husband he's expected to be. Quin is the first to notice this.
Midway up her right thigh, dissecting her femoral artery.
Habit of precision.
His wife just died. He's submitting a lab report. Seriously, the next door neighbor, the guy with the,
I mean, they don't know he's a psychopath or Dexter is like, a sociopath. Whichever one it is, Dexter can't show his emotions right, man. So they're out. It's kind of understand why they're questioning his emotion, but it's not, it looks bad. It looks bad for Dexter, how his wife died and everything else and everything, man. But he didn't do it, man. It was Trinity, y'all, That shit's still fucked up.
What? He was more broken up about Rita than Dexter was.
In a way, too, guys, it was Dexter's fault for Trinity, motherfucker. Getting Rita and shit, man. So, yeah. Or not in a way. Definitely. All of it. 100% is Dexter's fault, man. Because he could have got Trinity so many times, man. But he chose not to.
In Season 5, we see a drastic change in Quin's character development. He starts to show a deeper interest in Deborah after they sleep together at Dexter and Rita's home, which is wrong in so many ways,
That shit was
but
random
that's
as
a
hell.
completely different video. Deborah regrets the encounter right away, but Quin sees potential for a relationship and continues to pursue her over time. As time passes, Deborah begins to warm up to him and eventually reciprocates his feelings. At the same time, Quin begins to piece a theory together about Rita's murder. Dexter's lack of emotion, his strange behavior during the 911 call, and the fact that Rita's death didn't match Trinity's MO raises red flags for Quin. He learns that Rita had kissed her neighbor, Elliot, and that Dexter knew about it. Quin starts to think that Dexter might have killed Rita in a jealous rage, framed Trinity, and staged the crime scene to mimic Trinity's style, given his familiarity with the case. Things escalate when Quin sees a police sketch of a man connected to Trinity, someone named Kyle Butler. He notices the man in the sketch looks a lot like Dexter, and his curiosity grows when he finds out the person with the same name had been murdered shortly before Rita's death. Determined to get answers, Quin secretly follows an FBI agent to the safe house where Trinity's family is.
Bro, this shit was crazy, man. When this shit was happening, y'all, when Quin was trying to figure shit out, that was like one of the most interesting motherfucking, what do you call it, like side plot storylines and shit.
Staying, hoping to confirm his suspicion that Dexter is actually Kyle Butler. However,
Up
his
there with,
investigation takes an unexpected
Sergeant
turn
Dokes'
when he
one.
confronts Trinity's son, Jonah, at the store and tries to show him a photo of Dexter. Before Jonah can respond, Quin is caught by the FBI and taken away.
Bro, if only he had like a couple more seconds too, man, he would have motherfucking found out that Dexter was Kyle Butler, man.
To shield the
Shit.
department from potential fallout, LaGuerta decides to suspend him. At this point, Quin doesn't know that Dexter is a serial killer, but he senses something dark about him. While his earlier suspicions were weak and largely fueled by personal bias, this time he had a legitimate reason to doubt the true nature of Dexter. And that's when he gets involved with Stan Liddy. Liddy, a corrupt narcotics
There
cop
he
caught
is.
in a sting
There's motherfucking Liddy, man. You guys will know who Liddy is here in the motherfucking
operation, but later released, is introduced as a morally dubious character. His shady nature resonates with Joey Quin, and the two connect at a bar where Quin reveals his interest in investigating Dexter. Although Liddy criticizes Quin for being involved with Deb, he becomes intrigued and agrees to look into Dexter, highlighting how both men were willing to bend the rules when it suits their agenda. Quin hopes to uncover maybe an affair or a link between Dexter and Rita's death, but he has no idea what he's getting himself into. Liddy begins noticing how meticulously Dexter hides his tracks. He points out Dexter's overly clean background and his almost obsessive need for control and secrecy.
Bro, and that's the thing too. What the fuck? So everybody has to be like something with them. Bro, there's some people in the world that are just normal as fuck that don't do nothing, and I guess that's abnormal. Okay.
It's eerily similar to those observed by
Even though Dexter is doing, you know what I mean. But still, man, it's like, so everybody who's too clean or whatever the fuck they say, it's like, yeah.
Sergeant Dokes.
Alright,
Your
whatever,
boy's
man.
squeaky clean on paper. He's only been out of the country once, Paris, pays his bills on time,
keeps to himself. I tell you, it's all too neat and a little too phony.
As Liddy continues his
See, like,
investigation,
I
he
don't know,
discovers
man. I feel like that's just. I mean, they were right on this, but what if Dexter was some regular person, man? Still,
that
bro, you know?
Lumen Pierce is living in Dexter's old house. To gather more information, he stages a fake car accident involving Lumen. During the encounter, he notices suspicious items in her possession, including rolls of plastic sheeting and garbage bags, tools consistent with the Bay Harbor Butcher's MO. These discoveries deepen Liddy's suspicions and push him to pursue the case with even more determination. Liddy's investigation takes
That's the thing too. Liddy didn't even know he was the Bay Harbor Butcher. He wasn't even suspecting him of that. He was just trying to see what the fuck was going
a
on.
darker turn when he stalks Dexter and photographs Dexter and
That shit
Lumen
was
dumping
crazy,
suspicious
man.
bags
I remember
into
when
the
that
ocean.
shit happened.
Another stage in the
Holy
Bay Harbor
fuck,
Butcher's
man.
MO. He speculates that the bags might contain drugs or, worse, bodies. By this point, Quin's
He straight caught Dexter in his motherfucking, like, his ritual, man. Like, damn,
enthusiasm
man.
for the investigation has waned. He shows no interest in seeing the photos Liddy has taken. However, we later see he keeps them in his bedside table. Deborah had recently confronted Quin about his investigation into Kyle Butler, and his growing feelings for her make him question his motives. He starts to view pursuing Dexter as a risk to his relationship with Deborah, and as a result, Quin steps back, leaving Liddy to continue the investigation alone, unrestrained, and
now that's when Liddy fucked up, man. Liddy didn't know what the fuck he was getting himself into, man. You guys will see what happens.
increasingly reckless.
Yeah. Consider this your severance package. We're done.
As Liddy continues gathering evidence, his obsession escalates. He forges Quin's signature to obtain police surveillance equipment and sets up hidden cameras in Dexter's apartment, capturing footage of Dexter and Lumen handling knives. Eventually, Liddy manages to capture Dexter and trap him in his surveillance van, emboldened by the hope of reviving his career. Using illegally obtained photos and videos as leverage, he attempts to intimidate Dexter, offering to leave Lumen
Dexter was cooked, bro. Straight
out
up,
if
man.
Dexter confesses to his crimes. Liddy plans for Quin to make the bust for him. However, Liddy's growing desperation blinds him to the danger he's facing, clouding his judgment at a critical moment.
Yep.
Liddy starts filming Dexter's confession, but things quickly spiral out of control. Despite being tied up, Dexter kicks Liddy in the face, knocking him into the van's front seat. Liddy grabs a knife and tries to stab Dexter, but Dexter—
And here's the thing too, man. He tried to stab Dexter, bro. He put a knife into this shit. He put a knife into this fight. So that's on him, man. That's on him more than anything, bro. He killed him.
Fights back, turning the blade towards Liddy. Slowly, the knife sinks into Liddy's chest. He tries to resist, but his eyes widen in shock as he grows weaker. Moments later, he dies.
Here's the thing too, man. How did the creator of this video block this scene? You know how he blocked it? He blurred it, and then he showed him stab him in the chest.
Shortly after, Quin arrives at the location where he believes Liddy has Dexter cornered. He finds only an empty surveillance van with no sign of Liddy or Dexter. Frustrated and uneasy, Quin leaves angry voicemails for Liddy, demanding answers. He gets none. Just as he leaves, a drop of blood falls on his foot. Liddy is pronounced dead, and Quin, along with Dexter, are called to the crime scene. And I think at this point, Quin is starting to consider that Dexter
I
was
remember this shit, bro.
What
This
about
shit is
you?
crazy.
Any theories?
Nah, bro. Quin asked Dexter, what about you? Any
are
theories?
called to the crime scene, and I think at this point, Quin is starting to consider that Dexter was responsible.
What about you?
Any theories?
I haven't examined the crime scene.
Dexter's response to this shit is cold, y'all. Cold as fuck, man. You guys will see. He basically says he fucked around. He found out.
Wild guess.
Heard Liddy was kind of shady. Maybe something came back to bite him.
His response is calm,
Maybe something came back to bite him. Nah,
almost
bruh.
chilling, offering vague statements that conclude with a veiled threat. The
Yeah.
thinly veiled warning lands, and Quin visibly backs off, unnerved. His queasy expression and hesitant
And
reply—
of course, his sister's right there, bruh. And you know, Quin's lover, or Quin's interest, or whatever the fuck, man. It just makes it all way better, man.
make it clear he understands the gravity of Dexter's words and decides to let the matter rest. Quin here looks visibly scared. Do you think he knew at this
Shit.
point?
Would y'all? I would be, bro. I'd be like, fuck, man. This dude, he didn't know what he got himself into,
Down
bro.
below. Upon arriving at the scene, they discovered that Liddy, a cop with over 40 years of experience, had been killed with precision, clearly by someone highly skilled. Killed in the same spot Quin last knew him to be with Dexter. Deborah asks Quin what's bothering him, and his response shows the dilemma in his mind.
What is it?
Bro, his face. Oh my god. Bro, he knows. There's no other way, bro. Like, there's just,
I don't know how
yeah.
to say it.
It's unclear whether Quinn avoids confronting Deb about her brother's dark side because he fears the fallout of their relationship and worries about the legal consequences for himself, or is afraid of what Dexter might do if provoked. Most likely, it's a combination of all these factors
Yeah.
weighing heavily on him. There's no evidence left behind except for Quinn's incriminating voicemails and the blood on his shoe. Quinn isn't exactly sure how the blood got there, although I'm sure he may have suspected Dexter might have planted it to implicate him. Regardless, it's clear to Quinn that Dexter is involved. At this point, Quinn must have known that Dexter had killed Liddy, and I'm sure his next train of thought was that he was the Bay
Bruh,
Harbor
why?
butcher. The plastic wrapping, the dumping of the
I
bodies
don't
at
get it. Why block that scene if it's not gonna block? If you're just gonna show it, like, if you're gonna show the blood pool, like, bruh.
sea were all consistent with the Bay Harbor butcher's MO, and now Liddy was dead. I personally find it highly unlikely that Quinn, the highly street-smart cop, wouldn't have pieced it together by this point. Some might argue that it's unlikely that Quinn would suspect Dexter of being the Bay Harbor butcher at this point, but I just find that nearly impossible to believe. The Bay Harbor butcher's case, arguably one of the biggest in Miami's history and involving Miami Metro's
Yeah.
own, would have been common knowledge. It's almost certain that Quinn
I was
was
about to say
familiar with the
something.
case, making it likely he noticed the similarities between its details and the evidence that Liddy had uncovered. So it's not a stretch to say that he made the connection. Quinn is arrested, but stays silent about his connection to Liddy. He doesn't want to hurt Deb by accusing Dexter, knows that he sounds crazy.
Just imagine being in Quinn's shoes, though, man. Like, literally, literally, though, man. Like, what the fuck?
And is likely scared of what Dexter might do if pushed. In an unexpected turn of events, Quinn is released after Dexter's analysis clears him. Quinn realizes that Dexter lied to exonerate him, all but confirming Dexter's involvement in Liddy's murder. Relieved to avoid prison, Quinn even thanks Dexter for saving him, effectively putting an end to any
Real
lingering
shit, though, bro. He could have put Quinn away for a long time,
suspicions
man.
he may have had.
Thank you.
For what?
The blood work.
Just doing my job.
Yeah, well, that was the one thing hanging me up. There you go.
From this point forward, the dynamic between Dexter and Quinn shifts significantly. While Dexter remains private and guarded, Quinn becomes much less aggressive towards him, treating him with greater respect. He no longer openly criticizes or questions Dexter, signaling a complete change in his attitude and a decision just to back off completely. There could have been several reasons for Quinn's change in behavior.
Bro, he knew, bro. He knew. Like, if he kept messing around with Dexter, man, trying to like catch him or whatever, man, he's gonna turn up just like Liddy, man.
Relationship with Deb likely made him hesitant to do anything that
And
might
by the way, y'all, just a FYI, Dexter was about to M99 Quinn. He thought Quinn was after him when he came and saw the photos in Quinn's apartment and all this and that, and he was going after Quinn with M99, the tranquilizer and shit, about to fucking make Quinn his next victim. And he was ready. He prepared himself, all this and that, man. But it turned out it was Liddy. And that's how he got into the van with Liddy and everything, man. It was because Liddy fucking tricked him. Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. So
jeopardize it. He may have also felt like he owed Dexter some sort of courtesy after helping clear him. However,
bro,
on
what
a
the
deeper
fuck
level,
kind of
I
scene
believe
is
that
that?
Quinn's attitude
I remember that scene though, man. This dude was just trying to motherfucking bang Deb every motherfucking time he could get.
Because he was genuinely afraid of Dexter and uncertain about what he might be capable of. Subscribe if you think that Quinn knew at this point. If you're not still convinced
he
that Quinn
knew,
knew
man.
that
He
Dexter was
definitely
a
knew.
serial killer, then all we need to do is to fast forward to season 7, when Maria LaGuerta begins to suspect Dexter. After finding a blood slide at the scene of the Travis Marshall murder, LaGuerta begins to suspect that the Bay Harbor butcher is still active, and that Dopes was framed. Growing increasingly suspicious of Dexter, she devises a risky plan to catch him. She arranges for Hector Estrada, the man who ordered Dexter's mother's murder, to be
Man,
released.
this whole plot too, man, that shit was crazy, y'all. I'm telling y'all, like, people hate on these seasons, man, but they don't motherfucking understand how, like, these plots, man, it's just like, it brings the whole Dexter story full circle and continues the plot and drives everything forward, man. And as much as it was either boring or boring things happen in the season or anything, man, anything to nitpick, the core thing of Dexter, man, I'm talking about as his TV show self and everything, man. It brings everything together, man, in a way, man. Especially now with Dexter Original Sin and everything, seeing the relationship him and LaGuerta had before when they first met and everything. and then all the way up to seeing how they
from prison,
started
hoping
becoming
Dexter's
enemies.
need for vengeance will lead him into her trap. However, Dexter proves just as cunning. He quickly realizes LaGuerta's plan and devises a counter-strategy to discredit and frame her, turning her investigation into both a professional and
this is when she knew that he was the Bay Harbor Butcher, because he has the whole thing motherfucking plastic up and everything, man. And then a train shot,
catastrophe.
Chainsaw, man. God damn, yo, I'm baked this shit. I'm not gonna redo this shit because I don't want to deal with my fucking computer and CapCut and all this other bullshit. You nitpick myself, y'all, with like little fuck ups I do and all this and everything, man. And usually it's little shit like that, y'all, you know. It's whatever, man. Fucking man.
When LaGuerta
a chainsaw, he had that shit because his mother was chopped up with a chainsaw, and he was gonna chop up the guy who killed his mother with a chainsaw, man. So he's gonna do the same way to the guy. You guys know what I mean.
Dexter for the murder of Hector Estrada, she is confident she has finally exposed the real Bay Harbor.
And right here, bruh, right here, when she brought him in, that's when fucking Quin knew he was the Bay Harbor Butcher.
She confronts him publicly in front of her colleagues, presenting what she claims is undeniable evidence: Estrada's wallet and a bloody shirt recovered from Dexter's boat. However, Dexter had already anticipated her move and set the stage to turn the tables. New evidence emerges, revealing that the bloody shirt is tied to an old sealed case file, and that Dexter's fingerprints are nowhere to be found on the wallet. Instead, LaGuerta's fingerprints are discovered, making her appear as a rogue officer desperate enough to fabricate evidence in an attempt to clear her friend's name.
Are you trying to frame my brother?
Deb.
You son of a bitch. You said
There's Batista, Deb. Batista's just trying to calm these people down like some like father figure type person. Like,
me up.
But yeah.
By this point, Quin had witnessed enough to piece together the truth about Dexter. He's seen Dexter dump bodies at sea, eliminate Liddy without leaving a trace, and now has seen Dexter completely turn a case against the police captain, even managing to implicate her in the process. This evidence that Quin has points to the fact that
y'all gotta admit, that was some like top tier, like that was some top tier work, man. Like, holy
Dexter
shit.
is someone who knows what he's doing. Then, as if by design, LaGuerta ends up dead. It's hard to believe that Quin hasn't realized
I can't
that
believe
Dexter
Deb shot him, man. Like, what the fuck?
Is the Bay Harbor Butcher, or at the very least, a highly competent killer at this point. Dexter dumping bodies at sea, killing Liddy without leaving a trace, flipping the case against LaGuerta and her sudden death, it just pointed more and more to the fact that Dexter was a serial killer. Later on in season 8, when Quin and Dexter go to stake out Zach,
Nah, bro, this shit was crazy, man. Dexter basically found his own little prodigy, and this dude died by another serial killer and shit, man. But basically, Dexter found his own little prodigy, and Shane's gonna teach this dude the motherfucker.
Hamilton, a young boy they think is involved in a murder, they strike up a rare conversation.
You dig deep enough on anyone in this department, you know what you find?
What?
This shit. It's there. I mean, we all got it. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. We've all got this shit.
Quin eventually begins questioning Dexter about why Deb confessed to killing LaGuerta, hinting that he knows more than he's letting on. Though he never states it outright,
Bro, this
Quin
is when Quin should have backed the fuck off again, bro. Like,
implies through veiled
on,
comments and riddles that he's aware Dexter is a serial killer, and that Deb was involved in LaGuerta's death.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
It's absolutely clear that at this point, Quin has pieced everything together. Later in the episode, when Quin catches Dexter stalking Zach, this time for his table,
Bro, this shit was crazy, man.
not Miami Metro, he acts like what Dexter is doing isn't insanely weird.
Hey, I know you.
Bro's in his kill outfit. He's literally in his kill outfit, and Quin's out here talking to him like it's normal.
Doing?
Quin.
You playing detective? Watching Zach?
Yeah, you caught me.
Yeah, you caught me.
Keep an eye on Zach.
Nah,
Here,
bro, that's
Quin
crazy.
finds Dexter in his kill clothes, wearing gloves, at nighttime, keeping an eye
For
on
real, bro. He's wearing gloves too, and this mother, bruh. Yeah, Quin knew. Quin
Zach.
knew.
It's almost comedic. Quin pretends not to notice what Dexter is really doing, but it's obvious he knows. Without saying it directly, he lets Dexter know that he knows what he's doing and has no plans to stop him. A very smart choice.
Yep.
So now you might be asking, why Quin did nothing about it? Well, imagine what's going on through Quin's mind. If Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher, then he managed to frame Dokes, a highly trained ex-Special Force operative right under the FBI's nose, take down Trinity, one of the most elusive and dangerous serial killers in US history, kill Liddy, a former cop who had the upper hand without leaving a trace of evidence, frame and kill Maria LaGuerta, a police captain, as soon as she started closing in on him, all while keeping up the perfect image of a devoted father, brother, and blood splatter analyst. I mean, can you imagine how terrifying that must have
Bro,
been?
I'm telling y'all, like, holy fuck, man.
Who would Quin be to stand in Dexter's way? We know
Like, what I'm telling y'all is, imagine being in Quin's shoes, man. Like, holy fuck.
Quin is smart enough to understand that he's completely out.
YouTube Premium is
Here we go with a motherfucking ad, man. Hold on. My bad, y'all. My bad with all this shit, man.
Safest option is to keep his distance and avoid interfering. Quin isn't the type of guy who would feel compelled to turn Dexter in. He's a shady cop with a history of questionable behavior. He's covered for drug-addicted officers, leaked sensitive police information to the press, and even stolen money from crime scenes. And that's not all. In Season 7, we also learned that he took bribes from the Koshka Brotherhood while working in narcotics. Do you think turning a blind eye to Dexter's activities to save his own skin would be beyond him? The answer is no. Most cops would pursue Dexter out of a genuine belief in law and justice, but not Quin, partly because he's not someone who cares deeply about those ideals, and partly because he's smart enough to know when to back off, and for that, I kind of like him. Quin's reluctance to pursue Dexter is deeply
Bro, man, like, he's one of the most smartest people in Dexter because, like, he knew when to back off. He knew when to motherfucking, you know what I mean? Like, toe the line or whatever the fuck you want to call that.
Tied to his love for Deborah. His feelings for her create a significant conflict of interest, as going after Dexter would not only risk the relationship, but also devastate Deb emotionally. When Deb found out that Quin was investigating a connection between Kyle Butler and Dexter, the relationship almost ended. Quin, madly in love, did not want a repeat of that. I also think that he didn't pursue Dexter because on some twisted level, he kinda agreed with the Bay Harbor Butcher's principle, killing other killers. In Season 7, Quin becomes involved with Nadia, a dancer
Hey,
at the
y'all gotta see this shit, man.
Fox
Watch.
level. As their bond grew, Quin found himself increasingly entangled with the dangerous Koshka Brotherhood. The situation came to a head where George, a violent Koshka member, began using Nadia to manipulate Quin. George's control over her escalated to physical abuse, culminating in a confrontation where he dragged Nadia into his office, struck her, and dismissed Quin's warnings. Realizing the threat that George posed to Nadia's life, Quin acted
And this is what got my respect for Quin all the way up when this shit happened, bro. Cause I don't know, he was like, you know, when I first watched his show and everything, and then when this happened, bro, I was like, yeah.
decisively, shooting George in the chest. To protect Nadia and himself, Quin staged the scene as self-defense, even having Nadia shoot him in the arms to sell the story. He urged her to flee, knowing the Koshkas would kill her if she stayed. Here, we see Quin take the life to protect an innocent person, a decision that will align with the principles of the Bay Harbor Butcher. Given Quin's character and his willingness to operate in moral gray areas, it's not a stretch to imagine that he wouldn't oppose the killing of true monsters in society and thus again turn a blind eye to Dexter's killings. Later, when Dexter kills Oliver Saxon, the surveillance footage reveals a bizarre sequence of events. What starts as a seemingly ordinary conversation escalates quickly. Dexter provokes Saxon to stab him with a pen, and Dexter responds by stabbing him in the neck with a level of precision and efficiency only a seasoned killer could have. His calm demeanor and the way he takes an extra moment to revel in the act before slipping back
Man,
into
that shit was, bruh. That was Dexter's most ballsy kill ever, man, because, like, he was in a police station, bruh. He was in a police station. He got away with that.
Makes the entire thing unsettling to watch. As Batista watches the footage, he's in disbelief. He is in shock that Dexter, the loving father, mild-mannered blood splatter analyst, and trusted friend could be capable of such calculated violence. Quin, however, is completely calm, partly because he's still grieving Deb's stroke, but also he's not surprised by Dexter's ability to kill, as he already knows what Dexter is capable of. Without hesitation, Quin steps in and calls the incident clear self-defense, quickly shutting down Batista.
Joey, it was self-defense, Quin. Nah, for real though, y'all. That's part of his name now, man, because he's a real one, y'all. He's a motherfucking real one for that.
Doubts.
It's obviously self-defense.
The way Quin says it comes off almost as sarcastic, as if Dexter's efficiency in taking Saxon's life is no surprise to him. Therefore, it's only plausible to conclude that he knew. And yeah, that's it. In the end, it's clear that Quin knew Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher and a serial killer. Throughout the series, he saw enough to figure it out. Dexter dumping bags at sea, killing Stan Liddy, framing both Dokes and LaGuerta, stalking Zach Hamilton, killing Oliver Saxon. Yeah, he most definitely knew. But despite all this, Quin chose not to act, and his reasons reflect who he was as a person and as a cop. Unlike LaGuerta or Dokes, Quin was never a cop who cared deeply about justice or upholding the law. He operated in gray areas, often bending or ignoring the rules when it suited him. Quin was pragmatic, and pursuing someone as dangerous and as skilled as Dexter, a man who has outsmarted the FBI, killed with precision, and framed LaGuerta so convincingly that it ruined her reputation before her death, was simply not worth the risk to him. After LaGuerta's death, it's hard to imagine that Quin didn't fully realize that Dexter was a serial killer. In fact, it's certain he knew. He saw how
man, like he definitely knew. I'm telling you, like I'm 99% sure. Probably 99.9% sure he knew.
Dexter manipulated the case against her, and likely understood that her sudden, suspicious death was not a coincidence. However, Quin wasn't driven by the same passion for justice as other cops. He was smart enough to know when to stay out of something that could cost him his career or his life. On some level, Quin may have even agreed with Dexter's principles, having killed George to protect Nadia and staged the scene to cover it up. Quin likely understood the moral reasoning behind eliminating dangerous people who couldn't be stopped by the law. Ultimately, the main reasons Quin stayed silent were self-preservation, his lack of commitment to justice, and his love for Deborah. Confronting Dexter would have risked their relationship and caused her immense pain, something Quin wasn't willing to do, especially after their relationship nearly fell apart when she caught him investigating Dexter. By the time Dexter killed Oliver Saxon, Quin's reaction made it clear that he had accepted.
Yeah, man, like his whole reaction. Look at Batista compared to Quin, y'all. Yeah, man.
Truth. While Batista was shocked by the footage, Quin calmly dismissed it as clear self-defense, showing no surprise at Dexter's ability to kill. While he might have agreed with Dexter's actions on some level, it was his pragmatism, his detachment from justice, and his desire to protect his own life and relationships that kept him from acting. Quin wasn't a hero, nor did he try to be. He was simply someone who knew when to step aside from a fight he couldn't win. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe.
So, I'm gonna end the video, y'all. Hope you guys enjoy this and everything, man. I know it's kind of a longer video, it's 36 minutes and everything, man. You know, with this one, reacting to this video. But, hope you guys have a good one and everything, man. It's 420J, and I'm out, guys. And, or 420J Stoner Reaction. Yeah, guys. You guys on either channel, check out either channel. And, yeah, guys. There's guys, and peace.